We all want what's best for our pets, right? But when it comes to playtime, let's be honest, are we kind of just winging it? Today, we're going to move past the generic advice and actually build a playtime routine that is perfectly tailored to your unique pet. So let's dive in.
So let me ask you something straight up. Is your pet secretly bored? I mean, those chewed up shoes or that random case of the zoomies at midnight? They might not be so random after all. A lot of the time, things like destructive behavior or being really restless or even barking or meowing way too much, well, those are actually signs that your pet is crying out for more and better play.
And that's because we really have to rethink what playtime is. It's not a luxury. It's not just a treat we give them when we have a spare second. No way. It is a fundamental pillar of their health, just as vital as the food you put in their bowl or making sure they get a good night's sleep. It's an absolute non-negotiable for a happy, healthy life.
Okay, so that brings us to our first big question, the why. Before we can even start building a schedule, we have to really truly get why play is so incredibly important for our pets.
When you really look at the science behind it, the benefits are just incredible. Regular play, it's not just about burning off some extra energy. It helps manage their weight, it's great for their muscles and joints, and it even makes them smarter by boosting their cognitive function. And on a chemical level, it's a total powerhouse. It literally lowers stress hormones like cortisol and floods their system with those feel-good endorphins. It's basically a full-body wellness plan disguised as a fun game. All right, so we get why play is absolutely essential. That brings us to part 2, the what. We have to figure out our pet's unique needs. Because let's face it, a game of fetch for a golden retriever is a completely different world from what a rabbit or a ferret needs. Play is definitely not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal.
And this right here, this is where things can get really surprising for people. Sure, we all know dogs need an hour or two of running around, but did you have any idea that rabbits and ferrets need up to 4 hours of activity and exploration every single day? It just goes to show how critical it is to understand the specific, instinctual needs of your own pet.
But look, the amount of time is only half the battle. The type of play you're doing is just as important. For a cat, it's all about simulating a hunk, chasing a laser dot or a wand toy. For rabbits and ferrets, you have to satisfy that deep natural urge to dig and explore in tunnels. It's all about tapping into what they were born to do. So we've got our why and we've got our what. Now it's time for the really practical part, section 3, the how. This is your toolkit. This is where we take all this knowledge and turn it into an actual daily routine that really works for you and your pet's life. And it's actually a pretty simple 4-step process. First, you just watch your pet. When are they most energetic? Then, you got to be real with yourself about your own schedule. After that, it's all about mixing things up with different activities to keep them from getting bored. And finally, and this is huge, you always have to adjust for their age and their health. And that last point about age, it's just so important. A pet's needs change so dramatically over their lifetime. A puppy or a kitten, they need all that crazy, high-energy play to develop properly and learn social skills. But for a senior pet, the goal completely shifts. You're looking at shorter, gentle sessions that keep their mind sharp without putting too much strain on their body. Okay, but what happens when you do all this planning? You get the toys, you make the time, and your pet just isn't interested. It's actually a really common problem, but it doesn't mean you should give up. A pet that's reluctant to play can usually be coaxed into it with a bit of patience and the right approach. So here are 4 things you can try that really work. First, start slow. Don't overwhelm them. Second, experiment with different kinds of toys until you find what they love. Third, use treats. Create a positive vibe around playtime. And maybe the most important thing, pay close attention to their body language. If they look stressed, it's time to back off and try again later. Now for the other major hurdle that I think we all face, time. Life is just busy. Finding an extra hour or 2 in the day can feel completely impossible sometimes. But we know that skipping playtime isn't an option, so how do we make it work? The absolute key here is to stop thinking you need these long 1-hour blocks of time. You don't. Instead, think in short, frequent bursts. We're talking 5 minutes of chasing the wand toy during a commercial break, tossing a ball down the hall while your coffee's brewing. You can even set up play dates or use some of those cool automated toys to help out when you're really swamped. All right, let's talk about the big picture. The long-term rewards. Because when you actually put all of this into practice consistently, the benefits go so far beyond just having a tired-out pet at the end of the day. We're talking about really profound rewards that will shape their whole life and your relationship with them. Just listen to this. Consistent playtime can decrease anxiety, aggression, and other behavioral problems. I mean, think about that for a second. This isn't just about physical exercise. It's about their mental and emotional stability. By giving them a positive outlet for all that energy, you're actively preventing serious issues down the road and creating a much calmer, happier home.
So ultimately, this is the payoff. Think of consistent, thoughtful play as an investment in your pet's future. It can genuinely lead to a longer, healthier lifespan, way fewer behavioral problems, and a much, much better quality of life. But maybe the best part of all, it forges this incredibly deep, meaningful, emotional bond between you and your best friend.
So, I want to leave you with a little challenge. Based on everything we've talked about, your pet's unique needs, your schedule, their age, what is one new game, just one new activity, that you're going to try with them this week? It's such a small step, but trust me, it can make a world of difference.